Hello, hello, beautiful soul. I'm here to welcome Morgana Marie with us today. She's a divine feminine activator. She's an incredible soul. She's a psychic medium, theta healer, and teacher. And she has a lot more talents that she'll talk about during this interview with us today. But before we start the interview, let's just address the fact that we wear the same color today.
Yes,
We didn't talk about it. We just
we didn't.
started this video and then suddenly realized, oh my God, you're wearing red as well. And as a matter of fact, I don't really wear red. That's my only thing that I have in my wardrobe. And Morgana Marie said the same. Isn't this really, really funny? Hi, Morgana Marie, how are you?
Um,
How are things for you this December as we're recording this in December?
yeah, thank you. I'm really well, actually. I feel like I'm really excited to just come to a close with this year, and I'm looking forward to reflecting and just taking some time to process and be grateful. And it's been a year. It's been a year of a lot of challenge, but also a lot of growth and connection and healing, and yeah, just a lot of expansion as well. So I'm tired, but it's like a tired that's not exhausted. It's more of a tired for a good reason, if that makes sense.
Yeah, tired because you did what you love to do. And I know that you were working really hard to share with the world your gifts. And of course, it's one thing, to acknowledge that we have the gifts, and then it's something
Yes.
completely different to learn how to then express that to the world. So I know that you're very visual as well, and you're trying to express your talents through everything visual, like videos, photos. How is that helping you in your work?
It's the easiest, most magnetic way for me to actually get my message. Words I'm great at, but images I'm best at, because that is me. I'm showing up as me, and it is a creative, expressive medium for me to channel my energy. And I would say that most people resonate with the images that I put up, and then they read the words, but they're always drawn to the images because that's how I represent my thoughts, feelings, and emotions and reflections.
Would you
And
say that
I
when you decide what kind of picture you'll share or video, do you have the intention behind that visual in terms of emotion? Do you
Yeah.
know what kind of emotion you want to transmit before you post that?
Yeah, yeah. I always sometimes it could be a picture that I just take in the moment, and I'm like, I'm feeling this, I want to get a nice picture. This is how I'm feeling. Other images can be like professionally taken, either by myself, or others. And I'll sit with it, and I'll just connect, and I'll go up, I'll use the theta healing technique and connect and go and connect with creator, and actually channel the guidance that is meant to come through the image onto the post, and then I'll just share it. Um, and then I like just reflecting on the image for myself and being like, what does this mean to me? What am I trying to express? Who am I trying to reach? And just, yeah, channel that through.
I know that the visual part has been a big part of your life before you started your spiritual journey. But I know that you also had a big breakthrough in 2009 before you started sharing these gifts of yours, the spiritual gifts with the world. Would you like to talk a little bit about that breakthrough, in 2009?
Yeah, I mean, 2009 was, I guess, the kind of turning point for my life of what I thought was my reality and what completely wasn't my reality. And I had a big mass awakening. I was in a very heavy, toxic, unhealthy relationship at the time. I knew I was. I was working in a restaurant at the time, but I wasn't fulfilled, and I was like, I don't want to be doing this, and I don't want to be in this relationship, and I don't want to be doing this. And I was like, what else is possible? I was on antidepressants at the time, not happy at all. Thought I was, but I really was in denial. And I just thought, "Look, there must be something." And I was never really open spiritually at all. I wasn't really connected. I didn't have a spiritual practice or anything. But I had this little light bulb moment that switched on. It was like, go and study reflexology and massage. And I was like, well, I don't even know what that is. I don't really, what is that? anyway, I started to research into it, and I decided to go and actually study this, and that's when my whole journey started in business, but my own personal healing journey. And I realized I had a ability with my hands and touch and my voice and being able to connect with beings and people, and heal them, help them, and guide them out of pain. And then I was helping to help them out of pain, and I was helping me to be out of my pain. It was just
Mm.
a dance of connection with others.
That's really interesting. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, that when we share our gifts with the people around us, we do heal a lot
Yeah.
ourselves as well. And interestingly, the universe will invite into our life the exact person we need to connect with. And it doesn't matter, if it's a client or just an acquaintance or friend. Sometimes even if the situation is like, oh, I didn't expect this, it is there for a reason. So I know that throughout the years you developed, a very holistic approach to the healing part. Why would you say that this was really important for you to develop this holistic approach to healing?
Yeah, because what I realized is, it wasn't just about one thing of just focusing on me not being physically well. It was like, well, why aren't I physically well? Like, what's going on behind that? What's causing that? Um, and my learnings through college enabled me to be able to reconnect with my body, because I didn't really know how my body functioned. So I learned all the systems and the body systems for starters. But I also learned that we had we were spiritual, we had a spiritual aspect to us. And then we have this emotional aspect to us, and then we have this energetic aspect to us. We are energy. I was very blessed with a great teacher, actually. She kind of went above and beyond the course curriculum. I'd always shout out to that lady, Leslie Matthias, I believe her name is. And yeah, I just really realized like there was so much more that I wasn't looking at or seeing. And once I started to be able to see it and look at it, I realized, oh wow, we have to approach ourselves holistically. And that's where we could actually heal, because we weren't just deciding that this symptom was this and we had to just put a band-aid on it. We had to actually go to the core of the issue to clear it and release it, so we could move past it and feel better.
Yeah, and that's how we can create solid changes in our life as well, not just like
Yeah,
short-term changes
yeah.
where it may take a little bit longer to heal when we go to the root of the problem, but the results are much more sustainable. So, when did you feel that it was time for you to connect with the divine feminine? Because I know you work with divine feminine energy as well. What was that moment when you said, that's it, I really need to understand this energy more?
Oh wow, yeah. I think that came through my own. I actually started up some personal photography in lockdown. Because I never really liked my body or like how I looked, or I just didn't like it. So I was wanting to explore this. Like, I had a boudoir photographer come to me and was working on a project and wanted a model. And I was like, well, I've never really done modeling, but it's something I've always wanted to do. So why not? Let's just go for it and jump outside, go outside the comfort zone and do it. And then I guess this started to help me awaken and realize that there were different aspects again that I wasn't looking at. And I actually went on this yoga training course, like womb healing course. Again, my intuition just guided me to this. It was just like very, oh, I'm going to do this now. So I followed that, and then I started to realize that, oh my God, I was so disconnected to my womb, my femininity, myself as a woman. Like, I was just separated from that. And it started to help me to reconnect to my divine feminine energy and learn about it and just discover myself as a woman, and what
Mm.
that meant for me.
And how
Um,
did your life change after that? Like, what were some significant changes that you've noticed about yourself in your life?
yeah, so instead of being really closed off, I'm very closed off. I was very like shut down. I was very like armored as a person. That armor came down, my heart opened, and I was able to feel and see and sense and this is when my psychic abilities started to open up more, and my clair senses, I started to see more and feel more and be more in touch with my sensuality. Spent a lot of time in nature, so I was more connected to my nature. So nature's been a great healer as well. And I just started to feel more confident in myself as a woman, my expression, my voice. Um, it was just like layered healing. And then that's when I found theta healing. And then theta healing helped me to go deeper and release everywhere where I was shutting myself off, all the beliefs that I was carrying that was closing me down as a woman, essentially. And yeah, it was just like a mass awakening. One thing led to another, and
That's
I
beautiful.
was able to express myself as a woman and have boundaries and set boundaries and learn how to love myself and learn how to connect with my body and love my body and not hate it anymore. You know, I went from loathing to loving myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so, so
huge.
beautiful. That's so beautiful. So, if there is anyone, who is watching us and thinking, divine feminine, that sounds interesting, but how do I know if I am or I'm not connected with my divine feminine? What would you say to those who are asking themselves this question? What would be the signs for them to recognize that it's time for them to connect with their feminine?
Yeah, so do you find yourself feeling really contracted in your body? Maybe you have lots of pain going on, you're feeling restricted in yourself and your voice, and you feel like you're not heard, you're not seen, you're not understood, you're maybe a people pleaser. You feel like you maybe have judgment about your body or your sexuality, and you don't feel alive in yourself as a woman. Um, and you just feel like you're in competition, maybe with other women, you feel like you're in competition with men, you maybe have like not the healthiest relationships in the world. These are maybe you're codependent, you have codependency, attachment to people, relationships just don't work out. And you just feel like a sense of pressure all the time, this constant need and stress. That is a sign that your body and you are not connected to your divine feminine essence, I would
That's
say.
beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know that you offer intuitive readings to people, you guide them on their journey. I'm sure you've heard so many situations where, women are dealing with all of those things that you've just described. What kind
Yeah.
of guidance do you give to these beautiful souls, knowing that, sometimes when we're going through something challenging, it may be difficult to hear that you need to work on those things, right? Yes, it's one thing to recognize them and be aware of them, but then when it comes to working on all of that stuff, it's not sometimes the easiest. So, what is your approach to guiding these people through their challenges or these signs that they're experiencing?
Yeah, I would say don't do it alone. Trying to do it yourself is not necessarily the most helpful. Be kind and gentle with yourself and don't judge you. Um, that's the most important thing. You're not wrong, and don't judge yourself for where you're at. And you can take one step at a time. And be an allowance of yourself fully. That's what I would say. It's about being gentle and kind, and
Mm.
one step at a time.
Mm. That's
Really.
beautiful. So, we talked about the divine feminine and how important that is. Um, I would like to ask you, do you feel it's important for men to work on their divine feminine too? Or do you feel like the most that women are those who need to work on it the most?
It's actually the same. I see I've worked with a lot of men, and I see how they are disconnected to their feminine energy because of judgment and belief systems, like they can't be that, they can't express their emotions, not safe. Same, same things.
Mm.
Um, and it's important that a man, whatever gender you are, to have balance with these energies of masculine and feminine, so you can integrate your whole being and your soul as one,
Mm.
rather than separating yourself. I've worked with a lot of men actually through with photography, realizing they have, wow, the same body issues as women. And
Oh,
yeah, it's incredible. And the same issues come up in front of the camera. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize this was going on. So
Mm,
it's important. A lot of men are disconnected from their mothers, their that energy, and that results in a wounded feminine energy, and that can really be resolved if we can heal that.
mm.
Better
If you were
connection.
to describe, in a few words, the feminine energy and the masculine energy, for those who maybe are not yet familiar with the
Mm.
connection between both, or the like what it feels like to step into your feminine or masculine, how would you describe both?
Yeah, so I would say feminine is all about ease, receptivity, flow, openness, expansion, wildness. It's like untamable energy, sense and feeling, this creativity. Your creativity really is your feminine energy, your ability to sense, feel, and know. And masculine is focus, direction, assertiveness, confidence. There's like a directive energy. Yeah, you need both to
Yeah.
harness.
I love how even like your tone of voice changed when you changed from the feminine to the masculine. And it's like, even just by listening, 'cause sometimes, right, is so much that's going on behind the words that we say. It's the energy that we bring into the conversation or anything that we do as well. And yeah, it's so important to be aware of like when we're too much into the masculine or too much into the feminine. And it's not about rejecting or putting to the side one of them, or anything like that. Is about embracing. And as you were talking about the issues that men do have as well, it reminds me of this belief or thought, like when I hear, oh, men should not cry, or they should not express their emotions. What would you say was the like the most frequent issue or the blockage maybe that you've seen in men when it came to expressing their emotions and connecting with their divine feminine?
Yeah, having walls up around the heart. Yeah, being in the ego, being in
Mhm.
their head.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And that, like, how can that influence their lives?
Yeah, so it closes them off from having meaningful connections, and it can close them off from receiving from others, receiving anything, love, kindness, wealth, money, clients, living happy, being happy in their bodies, being happy in their skin. So it closes them off, and it can really affect your ability to show up and feel confident in yourself, because you're closed off and you don't feel safe. Yeah.
That's really, really interesting. And that happens, a lot when there are people trying to, maybe there is someone in a relationship who shares so much their emotions, and then there is another person who doesn't know how to first understand the other person emotion and also how to express. And then of course there can be a lot of issues that happen. So in the work that you do, Morgana Marie, there is a lot of healing that you bring. What do you feel about your own healing journey? How do you feel it's growing or evolving from year to year?
Huge, really. It's so expansive. I mean, over the last 2 years has been profound as I've dived so much deeper into my own like feminine and masculine wounding. So I've gone probably to depths that I've never even thought I could go to. Well, I've dived into things that I didn't even know was still there, because I'd worked on it before, but to some level, but I wasn't ready to maybe go deeper at that time. And this year has been all about going deeper and excavating what else we need to excavate, so I can step into more of my work and more of myself and come home more to me, so that I can help others more. And that's been a very trusting, kind of uncomfortable journey, I would say at times. I'm not telling a lie. It's not always easy. We have to face ourselves, but once you're vulnerable and you're intimate enough with yourself and you're held in that space, which is why I'm saying do it with someone that can guide you, it becomes actually really fulfilling.
Mhm.
And you want to do more. And I've always been like, well, what else is there? What else can we clear? It's not about having to fix
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about, well, what else can I change? It's going to make my life greater and more
Mm.
fulfilling.
I love it. I love it. And so, as you started this spiritual journey, and especially from 2009, when you just knew things need to change in your life, how would you say your relationships with people in your life changed?
Mm.
Would you say there have been like major changes, or they stay the same, or?
Yeah, major. I used to be very shy, very introverted. You'd never see me do anything like this. I would never be showing up on a video live. No way. I was not even on social media 4 or 5 years ago. And I struggled with relationships my whole life. Like relationships in terms of intimate, real relationships with people. Because I would be like, I can't get people too close to me. That's uncomfortable. So I would never be able to open up and share my feelings. Therefore, I never made meaningful connections and relationships. So for me to go from that and being really closed down to now having this the connections in my life that I do have, where I can sit and have real open-hearted conversations, it's just been amazing. And I'm really opening up more to that. And my clients have changed over the years as well as a result.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
yeah, it ever evolves and expands, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely relate to that. As we grow, we then see, yes, some clients will choose to stay with us, and or other clients will come in as well, and it's beautiful because that's also like every person who comes into our life is kind of a mirror, a reflection of where we're at. And when we are honest with ourselves about the point in our journey, and like what is going on there, it's just beautiful because you just ease and relax into that path, and you embrace and accept and then share your gifts as well with the world. So if you were to share with us one of the challenging moments in your life, maybe also since you started your spiritual journey, and how you overcame that, or how you went through it, I would say, by using your gifts and all the knowledge that you have now. What kind of example can you give us? It can be maybe in your business or relationships. Um, how did you go through it?
I would say, I mean, the one that keeps pinging to me is my body dysmorphia, because I've had body dysmorphia pretty much most of my life. And I would say I don't have it now. There's like little bits now that creep in again, like, oh, you're fat, or oh, you don't look this way and you should look, you know. But really, that has been a huge shift for me in my life. I can eat food with enjoyment. I don't have to overindulge. I have balance. I don't binge eat anymore. I don't cut out food. I don't diet. I just eat intuitively. I give my body what it wants. I listen to my body. I ask my body what it would like to eat. And I eat without feeling guilty. And I do what I enjoy. And I go places and have meals with people and connect without feeling like I shouldn't be doing it, or it's bad or wrong. So that's been a big one for me. So I can actually socialize with people and have these connections with people without being so self-conscious about my body, what I'm doing, what I'm eating, what I'm saying. Um, and that's reflected out into all of my life and my business and my relationships, like I said. So, and it's something that I'm working on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I push myself out of the comfort zone with what I do, with my work and my photography and my modeling and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been
And
big.
yeah, and how beautiful it is to be able to be exactly who you are and not worry that, oh my God, I'm going to lose this friend or this client or this acquaintance.
Yeah.
You grow, you are who you are, and then you may have the surprise that you may even have like more clients or more people coming into your life as a result of that, because they just feel there aren't like so many layers of like boundaries. I mean, we have to have clear and strong boundaries in terms of like protecting our energy or keeping our energy strong. But I mean, like those layers of protection, I would say, when we're trying to put like layers and layers and layers, it's just like, that's me, I'm taking off all those layers. That's me, and if you connect with who I am, that's fine. If not, no. And that's really freeing, I would say, isn't it? It's
Yes.
freeing when you can feel this way. So
Yeah.
Morgana Marie, how would you say you are living your life now, do you have any particular practices that are helping you, any routines, anything in particular that is helping you go through your present time while serving your clients and building those connections in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much embody all the practices that I do with my clients, I'll do them myself. So I will do theta healing sessions on myself, dive into my beliefs, do clearing around that. I go and have my bars run, which is like a session, an energy healing session that clears all the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that aren't yours. So I have one of those every week, and I go and swap and do it with other practitioners, which has been a life changer and incredible. Yeah, and even with photography, I'm constantly sort of like creating new projects, pushing my creative limits and things to sort of step in front of the lens so I can love myself more, and look at the picture from love, not from loathing, and just make more connections. You know, I'm reaching out, making connections with people all the time, like we are here.
Yeah.
Just getting to know people and be social and enjoy the connections that I make. And dancing, sensual dance, I do a lot of dance and just connecting with my body, and yeah, a lot of what I teach my clients to do.
Oh, I love it so much. Thank you so much for sharing this, Morgana Marie. So, if you were to give one piece of inspiration, I would say, or guidance to those who are at a point in their journey where they feel like, okay, I feel so disconnected from everything and everyone, even from myself. I know there are lots of things out there that I can start connecting, like learning and applying into my life. But where do I even start from? Like, what would you say to these people if they're asking themselves this question? Like, where can they start from?
Yeah, I would be like, okay, how would you love to feel? I'd ask them the question. It's about being in the question of your life. How do you want to feel? Not what you want. How do you want to feel in your being, in your body, in your
Mm.
life? And then get them to reflect on that question and see where that leads. Because then they'll get their own answer, and then you can follow that. And I always say, follow the energy.
I love it.
Mm.
Any final words of, goodbye to everybody? Any kind of inspiration you would like to share with everyone who's watching us?
Yeah, I just want to say, remember why you're doing life, like why you wake up every day, like be in the question, like why am I doing my life? Why am I doing this relationship? Why am I doing this business? Not from judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not judging, you're doing it from question and acknowledgement. And then you learn about yourself, and then you can understand, and you have more joy, because the question helps you to live more joyful, and it will lead you to more joy, it will lead you to more happiness, more fulfilling things. That's what I would say. And especially in the holidays as well, all the obligations, everywhere you feel obligated to do things, what do you want
Yeah.
to do?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Morgana Marie. I really, really appreciate your beautiful energy and presence and all the words of wisdom that you shared here with us today.
Thank you.
For everyone who's watching us, check out the description for this video. You'll see how you can connect with Morgana Marie. She has so much experience and she has so many modalities that she can help people with and guide them on their journey and path. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to this channel so that you get notified next time when another amazing video is going to be posted. Thank you so, so much for watching us and see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.